participate. Really touched at the gesture of all our doctors. It's amazing. I'm sure with time, मतलब समय के साथ एक desensitivity develop होती है, but it's not an easy task. That कि आपको सबसे मिलना है, सब पेशेंट से, सब प्रकार के पेशेंट्स होते हैं, उनको फिजिकली टच करना है, एग्जामिन करना है. It's not easy if you think about it. You really need to be devoted to the cause. एक ऐसा भाव ही होना चाहिए हृदय में. I think it's perhaps the most obviously not just difficult, most divine job in the world, to be a doctor and to, क्योंकि जब कुछ नहीं काम करता ना, एक अच्छा डॉक्टर मिल जाए और बोले आप ठीक हो जाओगे, बस इंसान को उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं चाहिए होता. कोई रोग हो शरीर में, कुछ हो, कोई ऐसा बीमारी हो और कोई डॉक्टर बोल दे के चिंता मत करो ठीक हो जाओगे. It's the greatest thing. I think दवा तो दवा. A doctor can treat much more with empathy. एक यदि डॉक्टर संवेदना दिखा सके तो उससे पेशेंट और भी जल्दी ठीक होगा. Because I hear it all the time from people who are hit with a major disease in their life. One of the chief reasons of their selection from one doctor to another is just how that doctor treated them. One doctor looked upon a patient as a number. Hey, it's nothing, get operated. The other doctor showed a degree of empathy which really made all the difference. And a long time back I heard this beautiful story. I'm sure I've shared it earlier, but looking at your memory, I'm sure you won't mind if I share it again. So I heard it in Dr. Wayne Dyer's discourses once. So there was this young boy, and he was the very quiet kind and didn't really do much in his class. The teacher was not happy with his performance and his score. And then came the Christmas time. So they said every child has to bring something, some gift, a token of gratitude, of love for their teacher. So he was a very small kid in grade 2 in school. So he brought a Christmas gift for the teacher. It was a perfume, but it was a used perfume. The teacher was taken aback. She said, "You must know it's a very bad etiquette to give somebody a used perfume or any used gift unless you are giving it Badrika Ashram." So I get used books all the time. So she said it's very bad etiquette to give somebody used. I am actually offended, she said. So she writes a note in the diary of the child and sends it. The father comes the next day and says to the teacher, "Look, please excuse him. I wasn't aware that they had to bring a gift, and I wasn't aware at all that he took this perfume. It's just that he lost his mother 6 months ago, and he's very lonely at home, so he just made up his mind and took that perfume." The teacher was just instantly, she felt terrible for scolding the child, because at least he brought something. And it's a real story, by the way. It actually happened in real life. So she said sorry to the child. "Look, I'm sorry." The next day she said sorry. She put on that perfume, she went to the class, she called that little boy and she said, "Look, I'm sorry. I was harsh on you." And he said, "Oh, today you smell just like my mother. And so the teacher started crying. It was just overwhelming. And she started giving him more attention. As she started giving more attention, he started doing well in his studies. And he would, every Christmas, write to his teacher. I forgot what was his and her name. So, Miss, you are still my most favorite teacher, he said. So years passed. He graduated out of high school, and then he went to the uni, but never made an attempt to meet his teacher again. But every Christmas, he would send a present, and he would write, I am doing well. Miss Jane, you are still my most favorite teacher in the world. Every Christmas. Some time passed, 7 years passed in fact. And one day, he sent a card on his Christmas that wrote as follows, Dear Miss Jane, wish you a very happy Christmas. You are still my most favorite teacher in the world. And underneath he had signed, next to signature were the words MD. So he had become a doctor. 2 more years passed. He wrote another Christmas card. Not Christmas, he sent another letter to her which was not on the occasion of Christmas. He said, it's my wedding and I insist that you come because you have to take the place of my mother. He said, you are still not just my most favorite teacher, you are my most favorite person on the planet. The teacher said, of course I will. It's my honor to do something like this. So the teacher goes there. And they're sitting in the front row. And this boy, now a grown-up, handsome man, doing something wonderful with his life, says to his teacher, Miss Jane, I have to thank you for all that you taught me in my life. I can't thank you enough. Without you, I won't be where I am today. And the teacher said, no, my son. It's you whom I have to thank because you have taught me more than I've taught you. But just remember one thing, she said. As a doctor, you can only treat. You can try and cure, but God heals. You cannot bring the healing. Healing is only brought by nature. Nature alone can heal. A human being cannot heal another person. Therefore, anything linked to nature helps you heal the other person or yourself faster or better. Whether that's a word or a kind gesture or any other natural act. Because now you are bringing about the healing and not just simply trying to cure or treat the other person. Any treatment, any kind of cure can bring a relapse of that problem. But once it's healed completely, it disappears from your system altogether. So I really do think that it is a sadhana in itself to be a doctor, even if some doctors take just write prescribed tests and so on and all that hanky-panky going on. Still, it's just it's not easy. Like I cannot touch people. I think if I became a doctor, I would pass out. So, but for a doctor to examine any kind of person, whatever, whether they have bathed or not bathed, brushed their teeth or not, whatever, what they've eaten, how they smell and everything. Just see the practicality. It's not easy. So it's remarkable. I think you accumulate tremendous spiritual merit by serving the world like this, because it's a job, it's a role that cannot be replaced. It's not that if a doctor won't do it, somebody else who is not a doctor can do it. It's just something only trained professional can do it. So I was very touched. I think it was